frustrated now. Hey, welcome back everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Turnkey Projects. Today we're going to shift gears a little bit, and I'm actually going to be working on some lawn equipment today. Yeah, I know that's real exciting to some of you, but others that own your own yards and don't want to pay $2,000 for a new tractor, ride mower if you're getting older like me. Sometimes it's cheaper just to go ahead and reinvest in some of your existing tractors. Now, I picked this thing up a few years ago at an auction for 140 bucks. It was in a barn that had collapsed from a snowstorm. Just popped out a couple dents. The thing ran great. So I mean, I can live with a few dents. I don't have to be the envy of the neighborhood when it comes to lawn care. So, but what we're working on today, we've got a 2005 Troybilt XP. This is the Horse XP. I guess it's the little bit bigger of a unit. It's a 46-inch deck. I'd actually been lending this to one of my friends for the last few months, and kind of a common thing on these tractors is the steering tears up, the steering sector, where all you get, there's no left or right selector switch, so wherever it decides to go is where you're going. So I guess you're going to have an uneven cut grass. But you really want to, before you start ordering parts for them, you really want to get in here and double check your model number and all that, because a lot of these parts are not interchangeable with some of the other Troybilt models. Like I said, there's several brands that run basically the exact same tractors. MTD is one of them. Yardman, Craftsman is the biggest one. So some of them are interchangeable, some of them aren't. You really want to enter in your model number to make sure you're getting the right equipment. But what we've got to take the steering wheel off here. Your steering shaft comes, I don't know how well you can see that in there. Your steering shaft runs right through here, down in between, behind the gas tank, and comes out right here. You got your gear on the end. There's your sector right there, and that attaches onto your tie rod end right here. And that's what that turns, this pivots, and this pushes and pulls your front tires in and out to turn them left and right. Far different than what you've got on your car usually. So we're going to start by taking the gas tank out, pinching the line off, make sure we don't have anything leaking all over. We're going to have to take this bar off here. If I remember right, that's a 13 millimeter. To take that off, there's one on this side, one on that side. We can pretty much pivot the tank out. I don't think we're going to have to take this cover off, but if we do, it's just some 8 millimeter and I think a couple 10 millimeter bolts, headed bolts around the cover. And that's if you do have the Kohler engine on it. Some of these did come with Briggs and Strattons, and I think some were actually made with the Kawasaki engines, but I could be wrong on that. I'm thinking this was the 20 horsepower. It's been a while since I've actually used this one. I bought my Simplicity at a different auction, and that thing just rides like a Cadillac. So, but every now and then, like old things do, it breaks down, and normally don't have a lot of time to do repairs. So I usually just jump on the next tractor that's available. So let's get into it and get started. guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take the hood off. Just so it's out of the way. Just tilt it forward, unhook the lights, and you can lift it right off. No tools needed. Push this plastic off to the way and this panel out of the way on one side. Get everything out. Nuts back up. Alright. Yeah, we're going to have to take the cover off. And these are 10 millimeters. Or 5/16, I'm sorry. Like a little bit more is going to have to come on. So we're going to go ahead and take this cover off. It's going to be a couple T25s the way it looks. We've got a crossbar right here. That's going to be, looks like 10 millimeter. Loose real quick. So if you go that route, take the wheel off, at least it'll be loose. Go get my marker for my 3/8 to 1/4 inch. Make this a little bit easier on ourselves. I'll hold this again. We're going to have to take the steering wheel off. Off. So it shouldn't be that. Yep, shouldn't be that hard to get off. There is some metal splines on there, so yours may be a little bit harder to come off. Remove that. And those two screws here. Remove these. starting to leak. Great. Wonderful. Alright. Kill those on the grass. Let's see if we can stop this. Looks like a trip to my parts store for fuel line is in order. Vapor line. All right. Now we're down to the steering shaft. We've got, I think, a jam nut on the back side with a screw. We've got a screw right here on the sector plate. We've got a nut right here on the tie rod end, and we've got a bolt right here for a turn stop. Get those loose and we'll get all this out. Alright guys, the screw I'm talking about look at it. You can follow my finger. That right there, it's a big crosshead screwdriver, and that's actually, you want to change that out with the steering shaft. It's supposed to be a one-time use only. So, and I have gotten confirmation on that from a buddy that does lawnmower repair. So you don't want to reuse that screw. The steering shaft, if you buy one, it should come with it. So I'm going to see if I can find my large cross tip screwdriver and get that out. Otherwise I'm going to have to lift the front end up and we'll get it from a different angle. So I'm just trying not to do too much on this. So I'll check back with you in a minute. Alright, got the little screw off the bottom. You can have a little packing jam nut that will go onto the frame itself. And then you're going to have a small nut right here. You can take off, and you should be able to just drop it. Shouldn't even have to take that out. Been a long day, guys. Bear with me. Alright, we're going to bring it over here. And we've got the new shaft right there. Alright, well, there's a couple things different on it. Looks like this one's a little bit longer, but the gear's the same. It's got the same packing nut that goes into the body to keep it centered. So it looks like all it's going to do is just raise the steering wheel up a little bit. Now it does come with a new screw and washer. And then in a separate package I've got the new sector gear. So we're going to get this taken out. Let's come back over here. Off to the side here. It just puts it further in the way, doesn't it? Alright, so we've got the center hold down nut and the stop right here. This is a 9/16, so that's a 1/2 inch. Let's go ahead and get this off, change it out, we'll clean up a little bit underneath it, just get that crash out while we're here. You know, one of those while I'm here things. Most of you guys will understand what I'm talking about on that one. So let's get it up and going, and I'll get back with you in a minute. Guys, there is a nut or a bolt head on the bottom side. You're going to have to put a wrench on. I'm verifying the size right now. Yep, 9/16. It's the same way on the stop nut. There is a nut on the bottom side of that, and it's going to be a 1/2 inch. There's the second plate. You usually want to do this on concrete or a hard surface so you don't lose all your hardware. Alright, let me go ahead and get this cleaned out of here real quick, and we'll be back. We got it cleaned out. Start going back in reverse order. Let's go ahead and set steering shaft. I don't have to bypass any of the pardon brake lead, by the way, in case I get hung on the sector gear. I won't have to pull this back out of the way. Put the flat edge of the washer in and the tapered end out. I'm not sure if that's how it goes, but that's the way my buddy put it back together. I just want to get it started for now. I don't want to tighten it all the way down in case I've got to loosen it back up again. Let's see here. Set the sector down here. Spacer. I'm not going to tighten it down yet. I'm just trying to get everything situated in there. Got our steering stop. That's tight. Let's see how this is going to work. So let's get the tie rod back on. Alright, where'd I put the jam nut for that? Remember what I said about putting your stuff up where it won't get lost? Yeah, seems like I didn't do that. Alright, where'd it go? Oh. I put it over here on the old one. I wonder I couldn't find it. So that's just going to go on there. Alright, so next we go underneath here, we tighten up that screw, and then we just start reassembling. My parking brake has been actually loose for some time, so I'm going to make sure that's in there when we get done. Let's see here, then we just start putting everything back together, and I'll stop tomorrow and get a fuel line. You won't have to stop and see that. So let's get back at it. Alright guys, we've got that in. We're going to have a little bit of play in it, but it's meshing up, it's not jumping around. This is good and tight. That's on there. So let's get everything hooked back up. Kind of hard to do this with one hand on the camera and one hand on the... There we go. Got the electrical in there. Alright. Let's check this linkage. Alright, I've got parking brake again. I just need to get this linkage right here. Come on, focus. From here. Into that linkage right there. So doesn't want to pivot in the way it should. So let me play with that a little bit, and we'll get everything else thrown in, the gas tank, the cover. Get these bolts here tight where the steering shaft comes through. Yeah, the cover back on, tank back in, and we'll go from there. You want to go in there. All right, guys. So far I've got the tank in. Getting the cross brace on now. Let's try this again. Start threading on there. This one starts threading on over here. And didn't even have to take the shaft support loose. Pinch on there. Rubber plate it. In good and tight. Around here to the other side, get that one. Oh, great. All right, to be continued. All right, everybody. We're back out here on the tractor. When I was putting it together the other night in kind of a rush to get back in, I accidentally got the cable for the throttle routed the wrong way. So we're going to have to go back in and reroute that, which is okay because when I put the tank back in, the hose was leaking right down here. It's old and brittle, So I got a new hose to put on there, so it's not going to hurt us to take the tank back out again. Just change that line out and get everything routed around the right way. So let's get back into it. Let me get caught up on that, and we'll get back into it. together. Let's double check oil. Oil is good. We still have to put this, bolt this back on. Let me go get the key and we're going to fire this thing up and run it around the yard real quick. Guys, first of all we're going to see if that repair worked, and no, it did not. Let's get this back in there again. Okay, I was just hitting it the wrong way. It is, isn't it? Let's get some gas. Go ahead and drop a week's worth of pay in here. Watch for any kind of leaks. I got to put air in that back tire, and I got to hang my headlights back up. All right, let me go get my air compressor. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, power. Plug in for 2 freaking days. Plug in for 2 days for 10 minutes of filming. Time without use. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's fairly simple fix. Consult if you're considering buying one of these, to fix and either use or flip. Double check that this is the type steering that is fairly easy to do. Like I said, I'm still going to get it up and lift the front end up and probably drop the deck on it just to make sure that that screw is set all the way in and it's not going to back out. That little ring, I talked to my buddy about it, and he said you can actually get just this piece. I don't know how well you can see that. I'll try flipping the camera around here in just a second and showing you. But he said you can get that separate and replace just that if your gear isn't completely messed up. A lot of times it doesn't really affect the teeth that badly, so you can just reuse it. So, but this is the part we're talking about. And I don't know how well you can see, but that's oblonged out. It's kind of egg-shaped, and it should be completely round on the inside. Perfect circle. That shaft is just getting in there, moving around a little bit, and causing the teeth on the gear to not mesh with the steering sector, and it's causing it to come out here, and that sector just kind of goes wherever it wants to. So, but for the money, and a lot of these Troybilts are set up, similar, in this year range. I've got another Troybilt Bronco, Super Bronco, that's a little bit older, and it's set up a little bit different. But all in all, these things are easy to get parts for. You can usually pick them up pretty cheap. If they need work, they're not bad to do them on. So, and as you can see, it still cuts good, and it's a good sized deck. It's a 46-inch deck on it. So, I've been using it for a couple of years now. My buddy used it this last season out of his place, and the thing's still holding up. So the $140 I got for it at the auction, I think I paid $25 for this piece right here, this surround. Reused all my old switches and all that. I was in it for $165. The thing runs great, cuts great. I didn't do wrong on it. I could probably turn around right now and sell it for $300, $400 without any problem. So, guys, don't let things intimidate you. Like I always say, never keep learning. Always push yourself a little bit. See how far down the rabbit hole you can fall and still crawl out of. So, worst case scenario, you're out a couple $100, and you can make it back in scrap metal, or sell it to someone else that they can get into it. So guys, thanks again. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button if you like the video. It goes a long way to help out. Thumbs down if you didn't really care for it, but if you do, leave me a comment. Tell me what I did wrong. So, until next time, guys, I appreciate everything. I appreciate you tuning back in to watch some of my useless stuff, and hopefully it was useful for some of you. So, take care. God bless.